Hey everybody, I got a cool paracord project to show you, and I'll show you the steps on how to make your own. It's a coiled lanyard. Of course, this is hot pink, not my color of choice. This one's from my daughter. We made this together. Here's mine, out of ACU gray. It's 550 paracord in a coil form. I got it attached to my Maxpedition Colossus here to keep my Phoenix TK15 flashlight handy. I'm the kind of guy who misplaces stuff. You know, I set it down somewhere and forget. So if you get a coil lanyard like this, that's not going to happen. You always keep it handy. I got an S-beaner on one side attached to my bag. Mick Gizmo clip down here attached to a split ring here on the flashlight. So, I mean, I think it looks cool and it's really functional. If you're working maybe up on ladders or on boats near water, if you have some gear that you don't want to drop and lose, this is a great way to keep it tethered to yourself. Gives you a lot of extension, and if you're a 550 paracord lover like me, you'll really think that it looks cool. So I'm going to show you how to make this. So I did see one video on YouTube already that shows one way to make these coiled lanyards. I saw it after I had already made mine, and I think my way is a lot easier. The other way, you use a coiled lanyard that maybe we'll get at like Lowe's or Home Depot, or I guess anywhere with the key section where they make keys. It's got a clip on one side and this plastic coil. I wish I had one to show you. I think you know what I'm talking about. It looks like one of these, but it's just plastic instead of the paracord. So that's one way, but this way is a lot easier, and here's the secret. You use weed trimmer line. This is the .095 size. This is a universal trimmer line. If you'll see, this is actually got a kind of funky cross section. It's not perfectly round, but I found that it doesn't matter at all for this project. It feels round while it's inside the paracord sheath. So anyways, this is the size you want to get. I haven't found anything bigger, I don't think. Can't remember. This is a perfect size. It fits in there easily. Yeah, it's not, you know, so small that you can feel it separate once you get it all made. And by the way, excuse my voice, I got some kind of a cold or something coming on. But what we want to do is to do this step. This is first. If you notice, I got that trimmer line is inside of this paracord and wrapped around this dowel. So we're going to do that step together real quick. Okay, let's make one out of this bright green, caustic green color. First, you want to remove the inner strands from your paracord. So pull those all the way out. So here we go. I pulled them all the way out. So this paracord sheath is gutted and empty. Now I did try once to keep one strand in there, melt it to the weed trimmer line so that I could pull it through, and I always get about halfway through and it gets stuck or the paracord guts tear or something. So this way is just as easy. Now what I did is I took, we're using a 3/8 inch dowel. 3/8 inch is the size of this dowel, and that makes a pretty tight coil. You can use a bigger dowel if you want to make you know, a bigger coil. So this is 3/8 inch, and with a 3/8 inch dowel, what you want to calculate is about 11 inches of paracord per 1 inch of coil. So if you want an 8-inch coil, then you want an 88-inch length of paracord, and that's what I've got here. For the weed trimmer line, you want that to be just a little bit longer than your paracord length so that the ends will stick out, and so that you don't worry about getting it lost inside until you could put some you know, terminals on the end. So I got 88 inches of paracord and about 90 inches of weed trimmer line. And all you're going to do, let's see, you want to make sure that the end is smooth. You want to get a clean cut on the end of that so that it goes through easier. There we go. So you just push it through as far as you can until you start getting some resistance. Once you get some resistance, let's see, find the end. You just want to do it inchworm style. What you're doing is you're shoving that trimmer line through it like this. So you're pushing through until it stops and then pulling back on the slack. So just do this inchworm style until you get it all the way out. Alright, I'm almost there. I can feel it at the end. There we go. Whoops. There we go. So got it at the end. Make sure you work out all the slack. Oh, perfect. So got it sticking out of both ends. Now the tough part. Take some strong hands for this next step. We're going to wrap this cord around a dowel. So here's my dowel, 3/8 inch. If I want to make an 8-inch coil, 8 inches long, then of course this needs to be a little bit longer. This dowel is 10 inches long. Right before I wrap it around there, don't want to forget to kind of burn the ends of my paracord there, just so I don't have it fray at all during the following steps. Careful not to melt right through this line. You can fuse the two together if you want. That'll work. So got this done. So now in the coil, see on this one here, just that round continues out this way. You can do it so that it points straight up, if you know what I'm talking about. So there's a 90-degree bend here instead of just the coil going straight around. The way you do that is the way you tie it onto here. You keep it straight and then start a 90-degree bend when you wrap it. I don't really care about that, so I'm gonna put a little bit of a bend on it. What you want to do, just have some duct tape or electrician's tape and stick that on there really tight. Got to put it on really tight because when you start wrapping that coil, you know, the coil wants to be kind of straight, or this trimmer line wants to be straight. So the memory in that line is a lot straighter than it's going to be as you're wrapping it around this piece of wood. So make sure you get that on there tight. Once it's on there tight, you can start wrapping. So what you want to do is keep these coils tight together. See that? Right next, snug with each other. First few turns is not that bad. I'm going to flip it over here. But remember that memory of that line, it's going to want to straighten out and it becomes very hard to turn. It's like a spring that wants to be, uncoiled. So I got that going. And keep it up. Just 1 second here. If you have a clamp, you could clamp it on here. That'll give your hands a little bit of a break because it won't uncoil past that clamp. See what I did? So I got the clamp right next to where I'm done. I'll wrap it some more. And as you're wrapping this around, you want to give it a little bit of a twist so that it doesn't get all twisted up in the wrap. As you're wrapping it, you don't want this paracord to become twisted this way or that way, so just be aware of that. So I'll take a break here, move my clamp. Okay, there we go. Got to keep a lot of pressure on this or else it's going to come uncoiled on you. And you got to do this all over again. So like I said, right now it wants to come undone. What we're going to do is we're going to drop these into some boiling water. That's going to heat up the trimmer line and reset its memory so that it's going to want to stay curled or coiled like this. So keep on going. Okay, so I finished wrapping it. I actually ended up with some extra length. I always do the better safe than sorry method when cutting cord. I gave it a few extra inches, so I just cut that off, remelted the ends here. So now I need to tape that against the dowel with some duct tape. Okay. Come on. This is difficult, my hand is cramping up here. You got to hold on that coil so tight. Okay, there we go. So just tape that down, several wraps, to make sure it's not going to come undone when it's in the boiling water. Alright, that'll hold. So we're going to move inside, drop this, and the other ones I made already, put all these in at once. It's a good idea to make several at a time while you got your water boiling, and save some time. Just make 3 or 4 or 5 of these, whatever you want to do.